Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ Guru ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ In our lives we encounter many different types of people, those people that pull us down and those people that inspire us. Now amongst those that inspire us, ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, some inspire us to become better people, some inspire us to do better in life, whether that's get a better job, whether that's to get a better degree, do better in school. And there are some rare gems that in this beautiful human life that we have, we encounter these blessed, saintly beings that inspire us to dive deep within ourselves and connect to Paramatma. मेरे हर प्रीतम की कोई बात सुनावे सो भाई सो मेरा बीर. That is our true friend. That is our true brother, true sibling. Somebody that comes to you and teaches you about Guru Sahib Ji. You can have people come up to you and inspire you and get you to have fun. But very rare will that person come into your life and give you such a jewel. When you feel that, you need that gem the most, that's when it'll come into your life and it'll give you the blessing which you never expected. And even though in these days we're celebrating our dear brother Bhai Jagraj Singh and his passing a few years ago, but pyariyo, I want to highlight this one itihas of Guru Hargobind Sahib Sache Paatshah Ji. When we ask ourselves and we listen to this shabad, everybody in the Panth, everybody in the Sangat, they've heard this shabad in Kirtan form. Koi aan milave mera pritam pyara hon tis pe aap vichai. We've all heard this shabad, pyariyo. As somebody come into my life and help me meet Guru Sahib, help me, show me the way to Guru Sahib Ji. I'll sell myself for that person. I'll lay down on the ground for that person. But pyariyo, sometimes we get this doubt. We don't know who or when and how this type of person will come into our life. So we doubt. We say this person can't be a saint, this person can't be a saint. So we go out looking for perfections and imperfections in people. But pyariyo, my beloved brothers and sisters, that's not the way. You cannot go out and looking for the right type of perfectionist and looking for imperfections in people and try to find, this is the person that I'm going to follow, this is the person that's going to lead me. There was this question that was asked to Guru Hargobind Sahib Sache Paatshah Ji, that you say that we need to find this Sangat of saints in order to follow this path towards Paramatma, to find that guidance. But how do we know who a true saint is? Many people come out and some people say he's a fake, he's a pakhandi, he's a hypocrite. And so we want to do seva of true saints. We want to do seva of Gursikhs. But we don't know who is true. We can't look inside of their hearts to see who's a fake and who's not, and who has the right intention, who's doing it for fame, who's doing it for money. We don't know. Guru Hargobind Sahib Sache Paatshah says to that person who asked this question, he says, look, that's not your job to look at who's right and who's wrong. Your job is to do seva of every single being that comes into your home. Your job is to invite everybody into your house and serve them. Because as you serve those saints, one day the word will reach the true saints and they will come into your life and give you such a jewel that you wouldn't even have expected. And Guru Hargobind Sahib explains this through a story. They say that there was a king who really wanted to see the bird called Hans, which is like a majestic swan-like bird. Very rare. And now these birds are white. They're beautiful. And they only drink milk. And within them, they have a jewel, a hira, a moti, which they only reveal to those people that they want to bless, or those people that they feel are worthy to see the darshan of this jewel of theirs. This king really wanted to see this Hans. So what did he do? He went out and he found a saint or a yogi to say, I want to see a Hans. Can you show me a way that I can see the Hans? And this person was wise, and he said to the king, what you need to do is you need to start taking nuts, seeds, and crumbs of bread and start serving them to all the different type of birds outside your palace. So the king began doing this. He started putting out seeds and dry bread crumbs every single morning. Different types of pigeons, sparrows, crows, all these different types of birds would come. But the king was thinking to himself, why am I serving these seeds and these other types of food? The Hans don't even eat this. Nonetheless, he kept on serving and serving and serving. And when he came into doubt and he was about to stop, he's like, it's been months. I haven't been able to see a Hans yet I'm serving, and now all the word of the great king, the great giving king, has spread amongst all these birds. Different types of sparrows, birds, they're all gathering. Every morning, hundreds and thousands of these birds gather, and they're eating from this langar of this king. But this king is thinking that I haven't been able to see the darshan of the Hans. Maybe I've been given the wrong guidance. The birds realize that their langar or their food is being threatened. And this word reaches the Hans, which are living all the way in their majestic pool, in their majestic sarovar. And from there, they hear that there's this king doing seva of all of these birds, and he wants to do it just so he can have darshan of us. All of these birds are benefiting from it. So let's go and give him darshan. So they fly all the way, and one morning, while the gardener was giving the seeds and the breadcrumbs, he notices these two different types of birds. They are beautiful, and they're just sitting amongst all these other birds, yet they're not eating anything. So they go to the king, and the gardener says, O king, there are these birds outside. Could they be the Hans? The king gets excited. He says that, why don't you take a bowl of milk and put it in front of them? If they drink the milk, then we know they're Hans. So that's what was done. They put a bowl of milk in front. The Hans drink the milk. The king comes running out, and the Hans, they take out that jewel, they give it out, they give it to the king, and the Hans fly away. The king is wonderstruck, and he looks at this jewel, and he's thinking that, what is the value of this jewel? So he goes to the jeweler, a wise jeweler, and says, can you tell me the value of this jewel? Do you know how much it's worth? And the jeweler takes some time, examines that jewel, and instead gives that jewel back and gives the king 100 rupees of his own. And the king says, what was all this for? I asked you what its worth is. And the jeweler said, you see all of your palace, you see your entire kingdom, your entire army, all the taxes that you receive, that you've ever received, your entire palace, your throne, all the gold that you own, everything that you've seen, any luxury that you've experienced, that you know, your entire worth, that is nothing compared to the value of this jewel. And thank you for showing me the darshan of this jewel. I'm giving you 100 rupees to thank you just for showing me it. Darshan Peta. And the king was struck. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Sache Pacha, they used this story to explain to that person, to say, look, your job is to just serve everyone. Go out and do sangat of everyone. Take the gun of everyone. Take the virtues of everyone. Take it in. And as you keep on doing this action, you keep on serving and serving, even if they're fakes, even if they're not the hunts and the swans that you were searching for. When you keep on serving and serving, bring these saints into your home, bring these Gursikhs into your home and serve them. Keep the right intentions, fall in love with Guru Sahib. One day the word will reach those saints, and without you even knowing, they will come into your life and give you such a jewel that your entire life will not be the same as it was before it. And pyareo, that's why Tan Tan So Gursikh kahi hai, Jin har seva kar har naam laya. That person who's done the seva of Guru Sahib Ji, of Paramatma, who's taken Guru Sahib's naam. We look into our itihas. We look at Bhai Mani Singh Ji, we look at Baba Deep Singh Ji, we look at Mata Khivi Ji, Bibi Pani Ji, Mata Nanaki Ji. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁਰਾਤਨ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਦੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੈ the time of Guru Sahib's, the time during the missal periods, the time after that during Maharaja Ranjit Singh's times, maybe in our modern era, and now in the 20th century, 21st century. These gems are always there. And pyareo, there will never be a time on this world when there aren't these saints spreading this message of Guru Sahib Sache Pacha. Gursikha andar Sadgur varta. The Guru works through these Gursikhs. The words of these Gursikhs, the actions of these Gursikhs, the Guru works through them. Look pyareo, we're just a vessel. Let's know this, that if we keep our faith and our support inside of this body of ours, the friends of ours, the house, and maybe the culture of the world that we live in, all of this is going to come and go. In this world, in the next world, you can't place your hope and your support in any of these things. But to give us support through these things of Maya, through these false vessels, Guru Sahib themselves is working. So pyareo, by connecting to those, by doing sangat of these great Gursikhs, we fall in love. We connect to Gursikhs. We connect to Gurbani. Tina dekh man chao uthanda hon kad pai gunatasa. By looking upon their faces, by looking upon their lives, we get inspired. But not only that pyareo, our job, har jan doi ek hai, bib bichar kach nahe. There ends up being no difference between the Gursikh and Paramatma themselves. Because Paramatma is working through them. There's no iota or any little bit of mal, of homan left. There's no wall of falsehood anymore. So taan karke pyareo, those visionaries, those Gursikhs, we want to become them. We end up taking their place. Just like one Gursikh, one vessel will come into this world, that vessel will leave. Nawab Kapoor Singh, they led the Panth, they passed it on to Jassa Singh Ahluwalia. Jassa Singh Ahluwalia, they led the Panth, they passed it on. Pyareo, Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Pacha, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's jyot is sitting inside of them. That jyot moves through Guru Angad Dev Ji Sache Pacha to Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Pacha. Pyareo, Baba Banda Singh Ji Bahadur, they led the Fauj, they became Shaheed. Their Shaheedi gave birth to many other Shaheeds. These words of Gurbani that we recite today, we don't know how many other Gursikhs is going to give birth to. So it's my request, let's follow these steps and lambi nadar nihaliya, let's look forward 1,000 years from now. In 1,000 years from now, Gursikhs in the year 3020, they may look back and they might say that look, those Puratan Gursikhs of 2020, they used to sit on YouTube. They used to have this Pratan platform, this old platform called YouTube back in the day. And Gursikhs used to sit and used to make videos, and people used to subscribe to this channel maybe called Basics of Sikhi. And they would listen to this Katha and they would be inspired. And that's how it was done back in the day. And maybe they have different platforms. But keep in mind, just like we remember history, these last 10 years, 8 years, they've become history. The last 40 years, they've become history since the time of the 1970s, 1984. We remember that. We remember the 1930s. We remember the Mahampurkhs of the 1920s. The Mahampurkhs of 2020 will be remembered as well. Pyareo, you are living in this era. what you do, what action you take, the future generations of Gursikhs, they will look back upon that. And that's going to be giving a message. Whether you like it or whether you don't, Pyareo, you are living history. And as you are living this history, Pyareo, make every breath worthwhile. Create the systems that need to be created for the Panth. Establish those systems. Work together, create these resources. We all know how the world works. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has the ability to execute those ideas. Yet everybody lacks those resources. If there was infinite resources, we could have been Khalsa Raj right away. But putting those resources together, putting that effort together, that's what we need to put our efforts towards, and our loyalty needs to fall towards the Guru Khalsa Panth, nowhere else. If we say our loyalty is maybe toward a little bit towards myself, a little bit towards my group of friends, a little bit towards maybe the nation that I work for or the company that I work for, then we can't 100% be towards the Guru Khalsa Panth. You can work anywhere, you can be anywhere, but andron baro tan man tan sab saump Gur ko hukum manya paiye. You give your mind, body, wealth, everything to Guru Sahib Sache Pacha, your energy, every breath. And Sache Galya, putting these resources, putting that much effort in towards this Panth, that's the way forward. And the way, how are you going to be inspired? Where are you going to be? How are you going to be able to help someone else? Vidya vichari tam par upakari. You take the Vidya, you have the Vidya through Sikh history, through Gurbani. Learn Gurbani and learn your history. If you let go of these two things, no matter how much effort that you try to put in your own little philosophies and your group of friends that you might get put together and say you want to make an effort, you won't know exactly what you're doing. You won't have the guidance and you won't know what you're doing because you're not learning from the history, you're not learning from Gurbani. Put all of these things together, fall in the sanctuary of saints, and you too might become a Jagraj Singh. You too might become a Bhai Parminder Singh. You too might become a Bhai Fauja Singh Ji. You too might become a Sant Jarnail Singh Ji. You too might become the great Matama or sisters in history. But Pyareo, keep in mind, 1,000 years from today, those Gursikhs will read about you, they will watch you, they will hear about you. Make sure your life is worthwhile. Make sure the efforts that you put, make sure are you fighting over different differences, or are you putting those things together? Like we've always said, use the 95% that unites us and just put the 5% that divides us to a side. It's okay, we can have differences. Move forward in that way, because you are going to be looked at and your life better be inspiring. Your life better be worthwhile to read about. Just like if I'm reading books about Sant Baba Harman Singh Ji today and being inspired about it, I'm reading books about Sant Baba Sundar Singh Ji today and I'm being inspired by it. Make sure, if you are somebody living in the UK, India, Canada, US, it doesn't matter where you are, what you did while you grew up, did your high school, maybe you completed a degree, maybe you went to your local sangat every once a week. What did you do? What difference did you make? That can inspire the Panth, that can change the world. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, let's change our vision. Don't just live in our own little cell, our own little pond. Don't become the frog of the pond. Go become that frog that jumps into the ocean, sees how vast that ocean is. Once we begin to see the vastness of our ocean, that's the only time we can see the vastness of our Panth. Sometimes it's possible that we just live in a small little pond and we see the only those people that practice Sikhi around us and we think this must be it, this must be everything. No, but dive into history, dive into Gurbani, go out and explore, see different changes you can make, use the resources no matter from what field that you come from. Put that back towards the Panth, and when you put this back towards the Panth, you can make changes in ways that nobody else can. Maybe you have an ability that you can give towards the Panth. Maybe some person beside you, maybe your neighbor, doesn't have that ability. It doesn't only mean to sit in front of people and maybe talk. Maybe it's through putting resources together. Maybe it's a way that you can provide your legal skills towards the Panth. Maybe you can use your editing or your data analyst skills. all of these things can be put together, build these institutions, grow these institutions, and let's move this Guru Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah's mission forward. When I remember my brother Bhai Jagraj Singh Ji and the way from how he himself controlled himself, influenced those people around him, and that influence himself changed his circle of concern, changed the entire world, changed the Panth and the way people view the future of the Panth today. So Pyareo, we want to also be able to do that. Control yourself, influence those around you, and then those things that you might worry about on Uncle WhatsApp or what's going on in the Panth or whatever's going on, you can influence that. Don't think you can't. Don't think, oh, it's their thing and I'm not able to do it. Pyareo, every single action that you take, every word that you say, that is making a difference, whether you see it or whether you don't. But Pyareo, we can make that difference together. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah, He Tan Tan Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sache Paatshah, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਥ ਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਰੋ, ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜੀ ਰੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਰਤ ਕੇ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹੋ। ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਓ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।